Hey, what's up guys? It's Corp here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to go over my portfolio update and how exactly I lost $4,000 within a week. You ready? Let's get started. So, this channel is all about using the online income opportunities we have with Merch by Amazon and Etsy to build our income online and then invest this income in things like the stock market and real estate. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, we've definitely noticed that the stock market has been downtrending for most of us who are invested in these small caps, and it has been sideways for everyone else, which means that it has basically gone up and then gone down, and we basically ended back up where we were at the beginning. And this has been the theme for like the last month or so, and hopefully we're going to break out of this trend and start some growth trends here pretty soon. But for right now, this is where my portfolio is. These are the stocks that I have in it. And I'm going to talk about where I see these stocks going and if I'm looking to sell at what points, and then also where I got into these stocks at. So before we get into this, let me first address the fact that there are two stocks here that you're not going to notice that I haven't really talked about if you're a follower of this channel. And those two stocks are eMagin, which is eMagin, and BCOV, which is Brightcove. And these two are swing plays, and I picked the worst time possible to start swing trading, because the market has, like I said, been sideways and mostly down for small cap companies. And really what I do is look into small cap companies that are worth investing in and then try to pick the winners and then ride them all the way to the top like I have for a few of these stocks. But with these stocks that I have in the swing trade section, it's just really not been great timing. Brightcove is a media or a video hosting company similar to YouTube, and they mostly specialize in the enterprise space, and they offer video platforms to people like Ford and McDonald's to have TV quality production for video casts they have within their enterprise. And this is great because, as you have noticed, the whole world is moving online and video is kind of a big deal. So anyway, that is BCOV, they're Brightcove. The next one is eMagin. This is eMagin. They are an OLED optics company. This is kind of a play with Vuzix. I know a lot about Vuzix and the augmented reality and micro display area. And so whenever I saw OLED was down a few weeks ago, I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to get in here. And it seems like they have a military contract coming up. And so that's why I invested with these guys, because, you know, as swing trades kind of imply, you're hoping to catch the upswing on a stock and then sell out at the top. So these are my two failed swing plays. I'm not up at all right now. I'm down probably $100 something. But hopefully whenever the stock market recovers, these two actually come back. And with all this said, let's get into the actual stock market portfolio that I'm really passionate about. So anyway, we're going to start off with Aemetis. Aemetis is a renewable natural gas company, and they are specializing in dairy renewable natural gas that captures runoff from dairy farms, converts this dairy natural gas into renewable natural gas that can be used by vehicles and companies alike, and even in the home natural gas space. So they inject this gas into the PNG pipeline in California, and the natural gas is pumped into people's homes to burn instead of fossil fuels, which all of this reduces the carbon intensity of the country. So anyway, renewable natural gas and Aemetis, or a company like Aemetis, is definitely popular with the current administration. And I didn't know that Biden was going to get elected before I got into this, but I knew that the country was headed in a green direction. And so that's why I bought Aemetis last year. And whenever I bought in at Aemetis, I bought in at $2.10. And I have a cost basis right now of $10.42, 210 shares, and currently I am up 76% on this position. And I love this because it is, you know, I think I'm really up around maybe 300% as far as, you know, I started buying in around $2.10, but recently I bought in quite heavily at the $10 to $15 price range, and so that has raised my cost basis significantly. But the company itself has a long way to go. It has a 100 million or hundreds of millions market cap, and they're addressing a multiple billion-dollar market. So the company has a long way to grow, and I'm going to be here for that growth. So anyway, I'm going to hold for probably the next 3 to 5 years, just because once, if a new administration comes in after the Biden administration, it could look very different for the environmental stocks and renewable natural gas stocks. So that might be a good time to exit, but they're going to do a lot of stuff between now and then. They've already announced that their 2025 goals are to have $1 billion in revenue, which is about a 300% CAGR, so CAGR, compounded annual growth rate. And this is going to be great if they can actually pull it off, which will, you know, by 2025, it'll be my time to think about exiting, and then I'll potentially be up maybe, you know, 300%. So anyway, that's Aemetis, and that's the future and where I'm looking to sell out with them. Now let's move on to Vuzix. Vuzix is one of my favorites, mostly because I'm up the most on this one, and it was another one of those that I was able to predict earlier. Even before Kathy Wood started investing into Vuzix, I was investing into Vuzix, and I was excited about this company. So anyway, let's talk about where I'm at with Vuzix. I bought in at Vuzix started buying at $4.29. I have a cost basis of $10.04. I have 233 shares, and I'm currently up 132%. This one is great. And a little bit about Vuzix. They are an augmented reality company. They have 3 different versions, and I think that they're coming out with another one, the Vuzix Blade, which is going to be their commercial option, because right now most of what they do is business to business, and they have an augmented reality setup that works as a monocle, another one that works as a glass over the monocle, and then they have the full-on Vuzix Blade, which is light glasses and has the images projected onto the glasses there. And they're mostly a business-to-business company working in the enterprise space, and they are addressing a potentially $150 billion market in the future. And actually, ARK Invest recently did an interview with them. I'll link that down below. And I listened to this interview, and the person who was interviewing, Paul Travers, who is the CEO, did a great job of teasing out the potential of Vuzix in the future, why ARK Invest invested with them in the first place, and what they can expect as far as the future of Vuzix as a company, and what the role augmented reality has in the future. And this one is going to be a hold forever play for me. With an average cost basis of around $10, I really don't look to sell this stock at all. I really only hope to take profits around $50 a share. And then that's where I see this stock, you know, really just taking off. And then in the future, I'm just going to hold it and let it grow. If it holds, or if it throws off dividends, that's great. But if not, then I will be content to just hold this stock forever and watch it grow. So anyway, that's Vuzix. And now we're going to move on to Hylion. Hylion is one of those stocks that has just been up and down and around, and nobody really knows what the heck is going on. And we're all just so hopeful for the future because we all know the potential of Hylion. And what Hylion is a trucking company that seeks to replace the drivetrains of the diesel trucks with a carbon zero powertrain and a potentially carbon negative powertrain by using renewable natural gas. And I found Aemetis, actually, the renewable natural gas company, by looking into Hylion and seeing if there were any renewable natural gas companies out there. So I found Aemetis, and that's essentially how I got that one from Hylion. But anyway, Hylion has done an amazing job recently of increasing their PR. I think most of why their stock price has dropped in the last month or so is because they didn't have any PR going on. But we can see that they have significantly raised their stock price after Thomas Healy got out there, started selling the dream, and then we have this earnings report coming up in May as well. So anyway, Hylion is in a pretty great spot, and what they're offering is amazing for the consumer. And of course, I'll link to all my videos in the section up here with each stock that I talk about. So anyway, with this stock, I bought in at $32.70 is where I started buying this stock, because I bought it as whenever it was the tortoise shell acquisition. And now I have a cost basis of around $18.61. I have 211 shares, and I'm currently down 42% on this company. And I mean, I'm just beyond excited to have gotten my cost basis down, because I feel like this stock is going to shoot back up to the 30s if not into the 60s within 2022, and then I will be set up for a nice return there if all of the stuff plays out the way that we imagine, the way Thomas Healy has said as well. So anyway, this is a stock that I'm likely going to hold for 5 to 10 years because they are going to need to reassess in 5 to 10 years what exactly the future of Hylion looks like. Is everything now moving to completely BEV, battery electric vehicles, or is it a hydrogen modification or hybrid copy, or is it still RNG in the future, renewable natural gas? And so right now, Hylion can work with any of those situations. Their trucks currently can run off of renewable natural gas. They can work with hydrogen in the future, and they can also be modified for 100% BEV in the future as well. They have done an amazing job of making themselves essentially bulletproof for the future. However, within about 5 to 10 years, it is going to be good to reassess and see if they are truly on track for that, or if it's time to sell out. And honestly, whenever that time comes, I'll be glad to just be done with the stress of hoping that Hylion goes somewhere. But anyway, that's Hylion. That's what I'm looking forward to. And now we're moving on to the newest stock, Palantir. Palantir is a management company. Palantir is basically a stock that in a business that nobody really has a full grasp on. And even I myself am not really fully sure exactly what they're doing and what the value that they bring here is. But they do bring a ton of value to companies, especially the military and especially the medical field. They work with the military and the medical field to run simulations based on the data that they are given to give people the best information to move forward and make a plan. In the case of the National Health Service, they helped with the COVID vaccine rollout, and they were able to provide vaccines to people at a much better rate and get everything out there as fast as possible. With the military, they're able to take in all of the data from the military as far as vehicles, people, infantry, the weapons available, as far as what the enemy is working with as well, and terrain, run battle simulations, and then their plan what they want to do in the future if they have to engage an enemy, which reduces the loss of life because you're not having to just, wing it and see what happens. You're able to run simulations that are pretty accurate based on whatever data you put in, and then run these simulations to essentially save lives and not have to go in an risky situation if it's unnecessary. So anyway, Palantir, what their main value proposition for me is that they have this massive technology that works for the National Health Service and the military, but all of this can be parsed down into a low modification model that can be used for local businesses as well. A local business could put all of their data in there as well and have Palantir run simulations on their local business to see what sales or what the community around this local business would actually be purchasing or what would be effective to sell to the local community. So Palantir is one of those companies that is a lot like an Apple, where they're able to excel even at the highest level as well as down to the very personal and very granular level. So that is why I love Palantir. They have a potential multi-trillion-dollar market ahead of them, but right now they have traded sideways, if not down, for the last month and a half, if not 2 months. And so it's been a little rough to hang on to Palantir, but I do believe in the company long term. And where I bought in at Palantir was $23.05. So I have a cost basis. I bought in again a little bit higher, $23.26, and I have 82 shares currently, and I am down 0.9%. This is a stock that I fully intend to hold forever. This is a buy and hold definition because the Palantir the runway that Palantir has is just exponential, and they have no one standing in their way as far as competition. They don't really have a competitor who can do everything that they're doing. Palantir has been running for 15 years before they went public, so they have the business relationships, they have the company set up and structured in a way that is going to allow them to have success. And really all they have to do is just capitalize and sell the vision effectively of what the local business can do with this company and what the major businesses can do as well. Now this is where they have a little bit of an issue because their CEO talks circles around everybody. He understands Palantir to the nth degree, but he's not able to basically bring that down to a normal person's level or speak in a way that really conveys clearly what Palantir is all about specifically. So that's where it's hard for investors to get on board with Palantir right now. But I believe that once the tech community accepts what Palantir is doing and what they're offering, it is going to be a great stock to own in the future. So anyway, that's my stock portfolio right now. That's what I currently own. My swing trades are there, not doing great, but hopefully those pick up in the future. But if they don't, it's not really that much of a loss. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. And remember, someone is going to do something amazing every day, guys. Why not you? See ya.